What was life like for Mongolian warriors? Being a Mongolian warrior was incredibly dangerous. They were part of a nomadic culture that frequently engaged in warfare, raiding neighboring tribes and kingdoms for resources and plunder. In addition to the dangers of battle, Mongolian warriors faced harsh living conditions, including extreme weather, scarcity of resources, and the constant need to move with their herds. They also faced the risk of disease and injury, as medical care was rudimentary at best.
This video is brought to you by Bullet Clash, a free multiplayer mobile game. You can download the game for free today from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Download Bullet Clash today.
Mongolian warriors were trained from a young age in martial skills and were expected to be brave and loyal to their leaders. However, the life of a Mongolian warrior was difficult and often short, with many dying in battle or from the hardships of their nomadic lifestyle. In this video, we will take a look at why Mongolians joined the Mongolian Empire, what their daily life was like, what was the motivation to do what they do, and what they accomplished. Before the Mongolian Empire was founded in the 13th century, life for Mongolians was centered around their nomadic way of life. Here are some aspects of their life before the empire. 1. Nomadic lifestyle. Mongolians were nomadic people who lived in portable dwellings called jairs or yurts. They moved from place to place in search of grazing land for their herds of horses, sheep, and other livestock. This allowed them to avoid overgrazing of the land. 2. Skilled horsemen. Horseback riding was an essential skill for Mongolians. They used horses for transportation, hunting, and warfare. Mongolian horses were small but sturdy and could survive in harsh conditions. 4. Shamanism. Ancient Mongolians practiced shamanism, which was a belief system that involved communicating with spirits and seeking their guidance. Shamans were respected members of the community who performed rituals and ceremonies to protect their people and ensure a good harvest. 5. Trade and commerce. Despite their nomadic lifestyle, Mongolians were involved in trade and commerce. They traded goods such as horses, furs, and textiles with neighboring regions, including China and Russia. Overall, life for Mongolians before the Mongolian Empire was centered around their nomadic way of life, their traditions and customs, and their interactions with neighboring regions through trade and commerce. The Mongolian Empire had a significant impact on the lifestyle of Mongolians. Here are some ways in which the Mongolian Empire changed Mongolian lifestyle. 1. Centralized government. The Mongolian Empire was founded through military conquests, and Genghis Khan established a centralized government with himself as the supreme ruler. This led to the consolidation of power and the establishment of a system of governance that was previously absent among the Mongolian tribes. 2. Expansion of territory. The Mongolian Empire grew rapidly under Genghis Khan and his successors, expanding across Asia and Europe. This brought new resources, people, and cultures into the Mongolian Empire, which changed the way of life for Mongolians. 3. Development of trade and commerce. The Mongolian Empire was a center for trade and commerce, which brought wealth and prosperity to the Mongolian people. Mongolians were able to trade goods such as horses, furs, and textiles with neighboring regions, including China and Russia, which led to an increase in their standard of living. 4. Spread of religion. The Mongolian Empire was tolerant of different religions and allowed people to practice their own faiths. As a result, Buddhism and Islam spread throughout the empire, which influenced the spiritual beliefs and practices of Mongolians. 5. Military culture. The Mongolian Empire was built on a strong military culture, and this influenced the way of life for Mongolians. Many Mongolians joined the army, and warfare became an integral part of their culture. This led to the development of new military tactics and technology, which had a lasting impact on Mongolian history. Overall, the Mongolian Empire had a significant impact on Mongolian lifestyle, leading to the establishment of a centralized government, the expansion of territory, the development of trade and commerce, the spread of religion, and the development of a strong military culture. Why did Mongolians join the Mongolian Empire? The Mongolian Empire was founded by Genghis Khan in the 13th century through a series of military conquests. The Mongolians who joined the empire did so for various reasons, including 1. Shared identity and culture. The Mongolians who joined the empire shared a common identity and culture with Genghis Khan and his followers. They saw themselves as part of a larger Mongolian nation and were inspired by Genghis Khan's vision of creating a united Mongol state. 2. Economic and political benefits. Joining the Mongolian Empire provided economic and political benefits to many Mongolians. As part of the empire, they gained access to new trade routes, resources, and markets. They also benefited from the protection and stability that came with being part of a large and powerful empire. 3. Military conquests. The Mongolian Empire was founded through military conquests, and many Mongolians joined the army to participate in these campaigns. Joining the army offered opportunities for wealth and status, as well as the chance to participate in the glory of conquest. 4. Fear and coercion. Some Mongolians joined the empire out of fear or coercion. Genghis Khan was known for his ruthless tactics, and many people were forced to submit to his rule or face severe consequences. Overall, the reasons for joining the Mongolian Empire were complex and varied. Some joined out of loyalty to their shared identity and culture, while others were motivated by economic or military benefits. Fear and coercion also played a role in some cases. What was life like for the Mongolian warriors? One of the most famous figures in Mongolian history is Genghis Khan, who founded the Mongol Empire in the 13th century. Under his leadership, the Mongols conquered vast territories across Asia and Europe, including China, Central Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Eastern Europe. Crafts and trade work in the Mongolian Empire. Crafts and trade were an important part of the economy in the Mongolian Empire. Craftspeople produced a wide variety of goods, including textiles, pottery, metalwork, and woodworking. These goods were often traded within the empire and with neighboring regions, such as China, Persia, and Russia. Craftspeople in the Mongolian Empire typically worked within their own communities, using traditional techniques and materials. For example, Mongolian weavers produced textiles using wool from their own flocks, while blacksmiths used local iron and steel to create weapons and tools. These craftspeople often learned their skills from family members or apprenticeships, and their techniques were passed down through generations. Trade in the Mongolian Empire was conducted through a variety of means. Some goods were traded through barter, with traders exchanging one type of good for another. Other goods were traded using currency, such as Chinese coins or Persian silver dirhams. Traders often traveled long distances to reach their destinations, using a network of roads and trade routes that connected different regions of the empire. Trade was an important source of wealth and power in the Mongolian Empire, and the Mongolian rulers actively encouraged it. They established laws and regulations to protect merchants and traders and to ensure fair trade practices. They also promoted the use of standardized weights and measures to facilitate trade. Overall, crafts and trade were an important part of the economy in the Mongolian Empire, providing a source of income and goods for people throughout the empire. Craftsmen used traditional techniques and materials to produce a wide variety of goods, while traders traveled long distances to exchange these goods with other regions. The Mongolians were skilled at creating powerful weapons using the resources available to them. They had access to a variety of raw materials, including wood, bone, sinew, and steel. Here are some factors that contributed to the creation of their powerful weapons. 1. Quality raw materials. The Mongolians used high-quality raw materials to create their weapons. For example, the Mongolian composite bow was made from a combination of wood, sinew, and bone, which gave it strength and flexibility. 2. Expert craftsmanship. Mongolian craftsmen were skilled at working with these materials to create weapons that were powerful and effective. They used techniques such as heat treatment, forging, and quenching to create high-quality steel. 3. Knowledge of weapon design. The Mongolians had a deep understanding of weapon design and were able to create weapons that were suited to their needs. They were able to innovate and improve upon existing weapon designs to make them more effective. 4. Resourcefulness. The Mongolians were resourceful and were able to use whatever materials were available to them to create weapons. For example, they used animal bones to make arrowheads and sinew to create bowstrings. 5. Training and practice. The Mongolian warriors were trained from a young age to use their weapons effectively. They spent years practicing and refining their skills, which made them highly proficient in using their weapons in battle. Overall, the Mongolians were able to create powerful weapons through a combination of high-quality raw materials, expert craftsmanship, knowledge of weapon design, resourcefulness, training, and practice. These weapons were a key factor in the success of the Mongolian Empire. Now let's take a look at some of the weapons they designed. Mongolian warriors were skilled in using a variety of weapons, which helped them to conquer vast territories and establish the Mongolian Empire. Here are some of the weapons that were commonly used by Mongolian warriors. 1. Bow and arrow. The Mongolian bow was a powerful weapon that could shoot arrows at high speeds and with great accuracy. Mongolian warriors were skilled in using the bow and arrow while riding on horseback, which gave them a significant advantage in battle. 2. Sword. The Mongolian sword was a double-edged weapon that was used for both cutting and thrusting. It was lightweight and had a curved blade, which made it effective for quick strikes and parrying. 3. Lance. The Mongolian lance was a long, spear-like weapon that was used for jousting and thrusting. It was particularly effective for charging into enemy lines and breaking their formation. 4. Mace. The Mongolian mace was a blunt weapon that was used for crushing bones and armor. It had a spiked head that could penetrate armor and inflict significant damage. 5. Composite bow. The Mongolian composite bow was a powerful and versatile weapon that was used for hunting, warfare, and sport. It was made from a combination of wood, sinew, and bone, which gave it strength and flexibility. Overall, Mongolian warriors were skilled in using a variety of weapons that were effective in different combat situations. Their expertise in using these weapons, combined with their horse riding skills and strategic prowess, helped them to establish one of the largest empires in history. Now let's talk about their horsemanship. Mongolian horse riding skills were legendary and played a crucial role in the success of the Mongolian Empire. Mongolian warriors were some of the finest horsemen in history, and their skills were developed through years of training and practice. Here are some aspects of Mongolian horse riding skills. 1. Balance and posture. Mongolian riders had excellent balance and posture on horseback, which allowed them to maintain control and stability even at high speeds. 2. Control of the horse. Mongolian riders were able to control their horses with subtle movements of their legs, feet, and hands. They were also skilled at using their body weight to steer the horse in different directions. 3. Weapon use. Mongolian riders were skilled at using weapons such as the bow and arrow while riding on horseback. They were able to shoot accurately and with great speed, even while the horse was moving. 4. Communication with horses. Mongolian riders had a close relationship with their horses and were able to communicate with them through body language and vocal commands. They were able to anticipate their horses' movements and respond accordingly. Overall, Mongolian horse riding skills were developed through years of training and practice, and were a crucial factor in the success of the Mongolian Empire. Their skills allowed them to move quickly and efficiently on horseback, and to be effective in battle. Mongolian warriors had a unique diet and training regimen that helped them maintain their physical and mental strength for battle. Here are some aspects of their dieting and training. 1. Diet. Mongolian warriors consumed a diet that was high in protein and fat, and low in carbohydrates. This was because they relied heavily on meat and dairy products, which were readily available in their nomadic lifestyle. They also consumed a lot of fermented foods, such as yogurt and cheese, which helped with digestion and provided essential nutrients. 2. Horseback riding. Horseback riding was an essential skill for Mongolian warriors, and they trained rigorously to develop their riding skills. They practiced riding in different terrains and conditions, including uphill and downhill slopes, and in harsh weather conditions. 3. Archery. Archery was another essential skill for Mongolian warriors, and they practiced regularly to improve their accuracy and range. They used composite bows made from wood, bone, and sinew, which were lightweight and powerful. 4. Wrestling. Mongolian warriors also practiced wrestling, which helped them develop their physical strength and agility. Wrestling was a popular sport in Mongolian culture, and competitions were held regularly. 5. Endurance training. Mongolian warriors had to be physically fit and have good endurance to endure long periods of horseback riding and battle. They trained by running, hiking, and practicing other endurance activities which allowed them to endure long hours of horseback riding and cover vast distances in a short amount of time. Overall, to get an idea of how skilled Mongolians were at horseback riding, just think of centaurs on the battlefield. The diet and training regimen for Mongolian warriors were centered around developing physical strength, endurance, and mental toughness. They relied heavily on meat and dairy products for their protein and fat intake, and they trained rigorously in horseback riding, archery, wrestling, and endurance activities. The motive for the Mongolian Empire was largely driven by a desire for conquest and expansion. Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongolian Empire, sought to unite the Mongolian tribes under a single banner and then expand their territory through military conquests. Here are some of the key motives for the Mongolian Empire. 1. Uniting the Mongolian tribes. Before the Mongolian Empire, the Mongolian tribes were divided and often at war with each other. Genghis Khan sought to unify the tribes and establish a strong central government that would provide stability and security. 2. Conquest and expansion. Genghis Khan was a skilled military strategist who saw conquest as a means of expanding the Mongolian Empire's territory and wealth. He led campaigns across Asia and Europe, conquering lands and establishing Mongolian control over them. 3. Access to resources and trade routes. The Mongolian Empire controlled important trade routes that allowed them to trade with neighboring regions and access valuable resources. Genghis Khan recognized the importance of controlling these routes and worked to expand Mongolian control over them. 4. Prestige and power. The Mongolian Empire was one of the largest empires in history, and its rulers sought to expand its prestige and power through conquest and expansion. Genghis Khan and his successors saw themselves as rulers of a great empire that would dominate the world. Overall, the motive for the Mongolian Empire was largely driven by a desire for conquest, expansion, and power. While there were other factors such as access to resources and trade routes, the desire for conquest and expansion was the primary driving force behind the Mongolian Empire. The Mongol Empire, founded by Genghis Khan in the 13th century, was one of the largest and most powerful empires in history. Some of the accomplishments of the Mongol Empire include: 1. Conquests. The Mongol Empire conquered vast territories spanning from Eastern Europe to Asia, including China, Central Asia, Persia, and Russia. They established the largest land empire in history, which had a profound impact on the political, economic, and social development of the regions they conquered. 2. Trade and commerce. The Mongol Empire facilitated trade and commerce between Europe and Asia through the Silk Road. They established a system of safe passage for traders and merchants, which contributed to the growth of international trade and commerce. 3. Cultural exchange. The Mongol Empire was a melting pot of different cultures, religions, and languages. The Mongols were tolerant of different religions and allowed the free practice of different faiths. As a result, there was a significant exchange of ideas, cultures, and technology between different regions. 4. Law and governance. The Mongol Empire developed a sophisticated system of law and governance, which was based on the principles of fairness and justice. They created a centralized administrative system, which helped to maintain law and order in the empire. 5. Military tactics. The Mongol Empire was renowned for its military tactics and strategies. They developed innovative tactics, such as the use of horse archers and siege warfare, which allowed them to conquer larger and more heavily fortified cities and territories. Overall, the Mongol Empire was one of the most influential empires in history, and their accomplishments had a lasting impact on the world. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll never miss a video.